everybody, welcome back to the cabin. I think you can see the lights in the cabin. Those are just temporary lights that I put up just to work inside the cabin while I'm trying to get things done, and I don't have electricity in this bedroom addition yet, so I don't have any way to turn lights on. So those are just string lights plugged into the solar power source. You can see the exterior is done if you haven't been following along the last few weeks. Got the exterior pretty well done. I was working on the roof this morning, just trying to get watertight because there was still water coming in through the joints and the boards on the roof, and I'm trying to insulate in there. So I got on the roof this morning, got more ice and water shield in place, put all the metal valleys and flashed around the chimney, and then sealed all that in, so it's now watertight. So I'm insulating inside. I got that wall fully insulated, the far wall, got some boards up on that wall, and the stone or the cement board around the fireplace, so I can start putting the stone on, which you'll see in the next video. You're not going to see any of that in this video because I'm going to do a little flashback to a trip, maybe even a couple of trips in this video, from back in July when I went fishing on my own. Just some solo fishing trips in northern Ontario, Canada. I was fly fishing for sort of non-traditional fly fishing species or targets, and that was pike and bass and walleye. I did quite well on the first trip for pike and walleye, although I didn't catch any of the big ones that I was after. And the second trip didn't go as planned. I just caught a few smallmouth bass and a couple of pike. So kind of uneventful, but the second trip was especially cool for me. Both trips I stayed in cabins alone, log cabins. The second one I was on an island completely alone with my own boat and just cooking by myself and so on. It was a 1940s cabin. I just like visiting other people's log cabins just to see how the construction methods. It's always interesting because I end up overbuilding and I'm still not to code, but I kind of overbuild compared to a traditional log cabin. And I think my very first cabin would have been more underbuilt. Yeah, the one I built back in my 20s that you've seen in a video like 7 or 8 years ago when I went back to visit it. That cabin was built with just all materials from on site, and it was just less of a roof structure essentially is what it comes down to, and a poor foundation. So this is different, but seeing that 1940s cabin that I stayed in with just a few logs for purlins to hold up the roof boards was interesting. And there it stands still after 80 something years. So I think I'm going to do more of that. My wife and I go around to different log cabins throughout North America, especially in the US over the winter, for example, and then maybe some in Canada as well. But just going to look at all the different construction methods and the way people lived on the land, the most appropriate way to live in each region based on the climate, for example. So I'll get into more of those videos. I'll start showing you those. Even from some of the trips we did over the last few years, I captured some good footage of log cabins. Anyway, tune in next week to see the rest of the interior cabin build.